No, 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 no. I'm not talking about this guy. Oh no. I mean, this little fella is the coolest model ever. Hello everyone, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. We have had once again another model previewed for the new and upcoming Ork range, the Beast Snaggas. And this one was actually mentioned in an earlier article as well as being shown off in the cave painting from the original cinematic we had for the Beast Snaggas reveal. They are indeed getting their very own dock style model, but instead of the Pain Boy that we know and love from today's Orks, this version seems to be a bit of an upgrade and is known as a Pain Boss. Now, an earlier article we had did state that these guys have a better understanding of Ork physiology due to the huge amount of injuries that the Beast Snaggas tend to get by being around these squigs all the time, so they are much more adept at dealing with those injuries, and as this article states, have a knowledge of squigs as well that allows the Beast Snaggas to graft crude bionics and armor plates to their steeds, which to me sounds really, really interesting, and I'm hoping they make that some kind of game and mechanic that the Pain Bosses bring to the table. The model itself is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's up on your screen now and just look at it. There's so much detail and it looks so unbelievably orky from a Beast Snagger perspective. I just absolutely love it. And what else we can see in this gorgeous model is that they don't seem to be afraid of doing this experimentation to themselves and perhaps to other Beast Snagger boys too. This Pain Boss, as you can see on your screen now, has the awesome looking mechanical legs, which are appropriately called super legs, to let him move around much more quickly and presumably help him to keep up with the mounted Beast Snaggers on their squigs. Like all of the Beast Snaggers we have seen previously, I do absolutely love this aesthetic that they're going for with this range. It's so wild and feral, but this has got a definite in-between look of the classic Orks that we know today who like to tinker with mechanics and that sort of thing, and the much more plain style that the Beast Snagger boy we saw previously has. It's a really nice balance between the two, and as these, like the other Beast Snagger units, can be used in a regular normal Ork force or in a purely Beast Snagger force, I think this really does help to bridge the gap and will allow you to make a force that looks pretty generally coherent across the entire range, no matter how many of each sort of sub-faction of Ork force you are using. He has those similar looking docks tools that the current Pain Boy has, as well as a slightly smaller looking claw, which we are told is called a power snapper. And this is essentially a lighter, smaller power claw, so perhaps this is going to be +2 strength or +3 strength rather than the ×2 strength of the current power claw, making him not quite as terrifying in melee, but still probably a reasonable threat to a lot of elite infantry or light vehicles if he does manage to get into combat with them. Obviously they don't give us any of his rules specifically, but with regards to what I think we might see in general, I imagine he will come with the same 6-up to ignore wounds bubble that a modern Pain Boy has, but as he is a Pain Boss, I am going to assume that he adds a little bit more on top of that as well. And I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he came with some kind of apothecary style ability like the Marines have to allow you to attempt to bring back a boy or maybe even D3 boys in your command phase. My other thought with him is, in line with his adding mechanical parts and bits to himself and the squigs, what if he has some kind of Fabius Bile ability where he can, before the battle, pick a unit of boys and upgrade them in some way, maybe a D3 roll where you get either +2 movement or +1 strength or +1 toughness to represent the work that he's done on that squad of boys before they go into battle. I think either of those two are probably the most likely thing that he is going to get, and I think the apothecary style bringing boys back is the more likely of the two. But I do think that the second one, where you can upgrade a unit of boys with extra bits and parts, is probably more fun and more orky, in my opinion, so I hope they go with that one. Finally, of course, I think we just have to talk about the best model in the entire game right now, and that is his little grot orderly. Yes, as you can see, it is a grot on wheels, with a tiny little drill and a puny claw. He just looks amazing, and I love that they've gone all in with the wackiness here. I think a lot of people were worried, especially after we saw that original Beast Snagger boy, that these guys were going to lose some of their quirkiness compared to the current Ork range, but after seeing this, I really don't think we have to worry about that now. If there's anything Orkier than a tiny grot with a motorbike wheel dashing around after his Painboss to help keep the boys alive, then I honestly don't think I've seen it. In terms of this little fella's rules specifically, I would like to see something along the lines of giving a reroll if the Painboss does get a mechanic to bring boys back so that you can reroll that roll, or being able to reroll the D3 roll if he gets to bring back D3 boys, so that if you get that 1 or a 2, you can reroll it and get, a couple more boys back. Or maybe like an Armorium Cherub for Devastator Marines. It lets the Painboss just attempt to do his bring boys back ability one extra time by using up this little fella. I also really hope that his claw comes in at like ×2 strength, so that he's strength 4. I think grots are a base strength of 2, so with some AP and 2 damage or something, it would just be absolutely hilarious if his claw is a reasonable melee threat and you could punch through a couple of wounds. There's nothing that I think would be more funny than watching this little grot orderly punch through the final couple of wounds on Gilliman with his grot power claw. I really need to see that, and I really hope that his claw isn't just some token strength 2 1 damage no AP kind of thing. I hope it does actually have a bit of punch to it. But there we go, another honestly fantastic showcase for the hopefully imminent Beast Snaggas, and I absolutely love the models. I'm really interested to see if I'm right on the money for any of his rules and abilities, but even if you are going for strictly classic Orks and don't want to get any Beast Snaggas, I do think that this model would be great to use as just another kind of Painboy. It really would fit in with a regular Ork force, and it's a really detailed, really cool, really interesting looking model. But what do you think of the Painboss and the Beast Snaggas range in general as well? How do you think he will differ from a regular Painboy? What kind of buffs and abilities do you think he will have on top of what you get from a regular Painboy? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me. But until next time, I will catch you later, guys.